Hi guys, my name's Craig. Welcome to Small Farmer Life. Hope you're all having an awesome day. And today guys, I want to talk about what's been going on the farm, what I'm doing on the farm, what's been going on with me, that sort of thing. So first of all, what's been going on with me, myself. Now I know I haven't made a video for a while, but a couple of weeks ago I was really busy, and then about 2 weeks ago I hurt my back. I've got 3 bulged discs in my back, which stops me from doing absolutely everything. I can't lift anything up. If I try to, automatically shooting pains down my back, down my leg, that sort of thing. I have to use a crutch to get around. I've never ever used a crutch before, and I never ever thought I'd have to use a crutch. Now, I was in hospital for around about a week with my back, and also an E. coli infection. I didn't even know I had it. Now, I hurt my back a week before I went to hospital because I made a doctor's appointment, and then I went to the doctor's after the doctor asked me several questions about numbness and where I was feeling numbness. And when I told him where I was feeling the numbness, he said, right, you need to go to the hospital. I'll phone him, tell him you're coming. That shocked me straight away. And well, I went to the hospital, waited a couple of hours, was seen, and they said, you need to stay in overnight. I was like, well, I can't stay in overnight because I've got to go back and put my dogs into the caravan and also put my chickens away. And they were like, no, you really need to stay in. And I was like, I can't. And after about 15 minutes going backwards and forth, I said, I'll come back in the morning, I promise. And well, I wasn't happy with that, but they accepted that. And I had to go home, I had to get my van, so I had to go to the car park, get my van. If I never moved my van, I'd got a ticket on my van as well. So got in my van, started driving home. I got to around about a couple of 100 metres away from the hospital car park, and well, the phone rang, and it was the doctor on the phone saying, your infection markers are through the roof, you need to come back now. And I was like, I can't, I told you I need to look up my dogs and also take care of my chickens. And so again, I said, I'll come back in the morning. When I got back that night, obviously locked my chickens up, fed the dogs, put the dogs away, and I was laying in bed on a night, and I was like, oh, feeling pain in my stomach. And he obviously put it in my head, and that made me think about it. And the next day, I got my neighbour to look after my animals. He said he'd feed the chickens, he'd lock them away at night. He takes care of his horses next door. It's the guy who I sold half of the land to. He'd let my dogs out on the morning, then he'd feed them around about 6 o'clock at night, and then lock them back up when he came to lock the chickens up, which was around about 10:30 on a night. Now my dogs do stay outside the caravan door, they walk around the land. My Labrador, the dog, is always in the pond. The bitch, she just lies outside the caravan. They're both quite old now. But anyway, he was taking care of my animals, and then I felt quite guilty after about the 5th day. So I was talking to the doctor saying, listen, I need to go home, I need to sign myself out. And they were like, no, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, should I say. And well, we came to an agreement. I'd stay in for another 2 days while I got the antibiotics into my arms, which they put in through a catheter or something like that, whatever they call it. And well, I signed myself out on the 7th day, and I know I wasn't supposed to. They told me I wasn't supposed to. I signed myself out, I came home. People said, you shouldn't have done that. I should have stayed in hospital. But like I say, I felt a little bit guilty that my neighbour was taking care of my animals. I wasn't paying him anything. And he did have to come up at 10:30, 11:15 on the night, because the guinea fowl and the chickens sometimes don't go in till that late. They just stay outside until the sun is really, really on the horizon, just about to go over the horizon. So anyway, guys, that's what happened. I signed myself out. I've been to doctors again, give bloods. I've still got an E. coli infection. My back is still obviously bad. I can't do anything on the farm. I can't do any work for my business. So that's put me out of action for the summer, which is when I make most of my money. So I'm probably not going to make any money this year, which is gutting to me, because that will stop me doing a lot of things around my farm. Now, I have got a lot of materials already in place to do majority of the jobs I want to do on the farm, but not everything, so I'm gutted about that. But anyway guys, that's what's happened to me. Now I want to show you some of the things I've been doing on the farm and some of the videos that are going to be coming up on the channel, some of the topics we're going to cover, some of the projects I'm going to be doing all over the farm. So I'll take you, show you the stable conversion and what I'm doing to the stable conversion. I'm going to be making videos around the stable conversion so you can see what you can actually do to a stable block and how nice you can make a stable block look. And then we'll go and have a look around the rest of the farm. So let's get at it. Right guys, let's go and have a look at the stable block and see what that looks like. Can you see that water feature behind me there? I got that given for nothing, and that's going to be in the courtyard of the stable block when it's converted, plus that bench. Both of them would cost you £1,000 plus each. I got the bench for 50 quid and the water feature I was given off a customer when I was doing the garden out. So first of all, what have I been doing to the actual stable block? Well, firstly, I took out the loft area, so I took all the loft boards out, all the junk that was in the loft area, and then I'm going to be using those timbers to strengthen that middle truss, because there's going to be a lot more weight on the roof, plasterboard, insulation, that sort of thing. And then we're taking all of that wall out there, all those timbers are going to be taken out, and then we're going to replace them with these 6 metre patio doors. Now obviously I'm going to have to put a big massive joist up there to keep the roof up when I take that wall out, and I've got to build a few bits of framing on the front. They're going to go on top of those bricks there that I've already laid, and then I'm going to put a massive timber beam that I've already built, which is really heavy, and there's no way I could put it up myself, but there it is there. It's 2 9x3s put together with bolts, so I don't know if you can see them, but these bolts here go through the timber, and you can see how big this timber is. This is the timber, I'll show you how long it is. That's going to be holding up the whole roof of that stable block, and then I'll put those 6 metre patio doors in, and then put the glass in, which is really heavy, and then it'll be all watertight. And then I'll be able to do the interior, which I know you guys will love. And I don't want to spoil the surprise of what it's going to look like, but I do really want to show you guys what you can do to a stable block and how nice you can make a stable block. And when you convert a stable block without planning permission, which is what's going to be happening, you don't need to abide by building regulations. So let's say you convert the stable block and you lived in that stable block for 4 years and 1 day, and then you claim the right of lawfulness. You don't have to then make sure that the stable block is abiding by all building regulations. The council don't really care about that. If you've been living in it for 4 years and 1 day, guess what? They'll just let you keep living it if you claim the right of lawfulness. That's what they do. So again, you don't have to abide by building regulations. Now, if you put in a planning application to convert the stable block into a home, then you will have to abide by building regulations. That's how it works. You'll have to probably take the whole stable block down and then build it to building standards, building regulations in the UK. But like I say, if you do it without them knowing, you don't have to do that sort of thing. Now, I'm just going to come on the back here and show you what I've been doing in the polytunnel, been growing some tomato plants and that sort of thing. Put water in around here, so put a new water pipe, because obviously you need water. You can see some little lettuces down there and other spring onions, that sort of thing, growing in that little bed there, and I think that Japanese acer looks amazing. Now, I do have the actual polytunnel doors in the stable block, but I can't put them on because I just can't do it. My back won't allow it. And to get somebody who's intelligent enough to put them on, well, the guy who's helping me isn't intelligent enough to put them on, so I need to get somebody else, which costs money, and if you don't have that money, well, you can't get it done. Now, I could do them easily, and with a little help, I think I could instruct somebody how to do them as good as I would do them or somebody else would do them. And then I've done all the inside of the polytunnel, as you can see. No dig system, so I'm going to plant all these up with tomato plants. I've already got some growing up the side there in pots, but I've got a lot more tomato plants coming on, and I've got to pick a lot more up from a friend, cucumber plants, pepper plants, that sort of thing. But I want to make a video about this polytunnel and how cheap I built this polytunnel, or how much money I built the polytunnel for, and you can do exactly the same. You don't have to go out and spend thousands of pounds on a brand new polytunnel. Look at that polytunnel. It looks amazing inside. You could have a polytunnel just like this for a couple of £100. That's all this polytunnel cost me, and it's pretty simple to do it yourself. Now, I want to go down towards the pond and show you what I'm doing around the pond. Now, I planted grass seed or spread grass seed all around the pond. It's taken in most places, but the wood pigeons and all the other birds just come down and nick the seed, man. So I've got another 10 kilo that I'm going to spread around the pond. Now, I've been collecting lots of pond plants and that sort of thing, and I'll show you what the pond's looking like now. This is the top pond, the smaller pond. Now, the big pond has got a lot of string algae in it, but I'm going to get in there, or get somebody to get in there, should I say, take the majority of the algae off the top, and then I'll treat the pond, get rid of the rest of the string algae, and then I've got some pond dye on the way to dye the ponds like a tropical blue colour. Then we're going to build a massive bridge across the middle so it looks like one huge pond, and I'm going to use the same timbers that I put together up there for the joist that's going to keep the stable block roof up. I bought about 7 of those timbers for 50 quid. 50 quid for all those timbers. I'm going to use 2 of those big timbers as the basis for the actual pond bridge. It's going to be dead wide, so when you look at the pond, it'll look like one big pond, and if any ducks are in the pond, they can come up and they can go underneath the bridge, get out the sun, that sort of thing. But that's what's going to be happening there around the pond, and it will look amazing. And I think any farm should have a pond on it because it brings wildlife to the area, and you see little moggy hens go in there. There's lots of newts in there, there's lots of frogs in there, lots of tadpoles at the moment. I've got several huge pond lilies in the pond, you can see them there. The jetty is a counterbalance jetty, so it's like the big timbers are under the ground, so it's got no legs on it, so you can walk onto the jetty. I should walk on the jetty, watch it go straight into the pond, but no, you can stand on the jetty and it's lovely. Obviously it doesn't look lovely at the moment, but once I get rid of that string algae, it will look the business. And once it rises, it's got about another foot and a half to come up to the top where the grass is and where the rocks are. And then, nearly went through it there with my crutch, and then we'll be getting onto the tiny home, and that's all ready to be converted. I've got all the plasterboard and everything up the top there in the stable block to convert this tiny home to a livable home. That will have a view that looks out across the pond, which I think will be amazing because there'll never be any buildings in front of that view. And then across the pond, we're going to have the Hobbit house, and I've got the door for the Hobbit house there, which is the end of a copper reel, what they call, the bobbin or something, that copper goes on. And then I've got the big massive timber that's bent that I picked up on a beach in the Tees estuary. It's huge in size, absolutely huge in size, and that's going to go above the door. Then I've got all the Yorkshire stone that'll go in front of the Hobbit house. It's all in a stack there, so you see the piece of timber that'll be above the door. Once the door's on, the timber is in position and all the York stone is around the front of the Hobbit house, I'll be sort of like plastering the front of the Hobbit house with the stuff that you use which has horsehair in it. I can't remember what they call it. Cob, that's what they call it. I'll be using cob on the front of the Hobbit house, so when the cob's all dry and it's nice and strong, I'll be painting it bright white, and there'll be a few rocks in between the walls. And I want to make the Hobbit house, I'm literally going to copy one that's in the Lord of the Rings. I'm going to copy one of those Hobbit houses that's in the Lord of the Rings, so it looks amazing. And inside, it's not going to have like a full living area, it's just going to have a bedroom that when you look out the window, you sort of eye level with the pond, so it looks amazing. Well, the view looks amazing, and I'll probably stay down there myself a few nights. But if you're down there with a few friends and they want to stay over, they can. If anyone comes to visit and they want to stay on the farm, then they can sleep in the Hobbit house or the tiny home. Anyway guys, that's what's been going on with me and what I'm going to be doing with the farm, type of videos that's going to be coming up. Plus there'll be lots of videos on other topics like definition of a caravan, how to make profit, or how to get land free by buying some land, dividing it, doing a few things to that land, making excellent profit so you get your land for free. All sorts of videos on all sorts of topics. And now I can't be out busy working and that sort of stuff. I should have the time to make those videos. Anyway guys, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, and you should subscribe, hit the subscribe button. If you want to be notified of more upcoming videos, then hit the bell button. Thanks again to all my patrons. Couldn't thank you guys enough, really. I really appreciate it. You know, if you need any help, any information, you can private message me. And YouTube members, really appreciate the support. Anybody else, if you want to ask me any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer those questions. You know, I always try and answer every comment. Until next time guys, make sure you take care of yourself, honestly, and really take care of your children, especially if they're working around the farm with you. And make sure you be genuine guys. Till next time, bye for now. See you.